Alright, after a nice rants and a pants, it's finally time to do some Magic the Gathering. Just talking about all sorts of things. And I want to play some of the World Championship decks, starting with the winning deck, Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosas. Oops. Blue-White Control. We're also going to be doing, let's just import them all now. Let's export. We're also going to be playing Carvalho's Fires. It's a Jeskai Fires list. And then last, and super duper not least, my absolute favorite deck of the entire tournament was Seth Manfield's Aggro. And what I'm going to do with each of these decks is we're going to be taking a little bit of time to look at some of the traditional lists that we've been seeing on the internet, and then we're going to do an analysis of them, and then we're going to play them because I'm very, very, very excited about them. Before we begin, Katong 15,773 gifted a fine 10 and SX Shadows XS with the 5 gifties, kindly supporting the channel on this beautiful day back. I'm feeling so good, man. I'm feeling so good. Let's talk a little bit about Azorious Control. I think that this is the ultra-traditional list. Perfect. This is the one that I want to start with. Let's talk about the traditional Azorious Control, and I'm not going to go into the sideboard because there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about. The idea behind Azorious Control points to just a couple of solid little cards and whatnot. Dream Trawler. This 6-mana flyer, flying, lifelink. When you attack, draw a card. Whenever you draw a card, it gets +1/+0 till end of turn. And you can discard any card to give Dream Trawler hexproof. It's incredible. It's just an absolutely incredible card. This is good against aggro because your life gets low. You play this. If they attack, you heal up. If they don't attack, you swing back and heal for 5. Because your first draw makes it a 4/5. Your attack makes it a 5/5. This is a fantastic card. We also have the Choker Twins, as I will call them, Teferi, that says you cannot cast any spell on your turn. Narset says you don't get to draw any more than 1 card per turn. So these two deny draws, but in particular Teferi prevents any of your creatures from being countered, prevents really obnoxious sideboarding things like Mystic Disputes, those types of counters. It also prevents the flash from Embercleave from going off. Very, very good. And of course, good old-fashioned counterspell. Counterspells are typically 1 colorless and 2 blue for just counter the dang thing. And any 3-mana counterspell that does something beyond that is pretty much a 4 out of 5. I've rarely seen any 3-mana counterspell with upside be less than that. Sinister Sabotage, 2 blue and 1 to counter the spell, and then Surveil 1. Great card. In this metagame with some nice aggro stuffs, a card that's gaining us 3 life is great. And given that we're a 2-color deck, the very, 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 very prohibitive mana cost is actually okay. We also have Shatter the Sky to clear the board. Wonderful 4-mana sweeper. We have Time Wipe, extra sweeper insurance. And the other big all-star that has recently come with Theros Beyond Death is Elspeth Conquers Death. You get to exile anything that costs 3 or more. That's creatures that are annoying, like Anax, that summons things on death. This is also just large things like Uro, or larger things like any 4, 5, 6 mana creature, and so on. Planeswalkers. It also gets pesky enchantments such as Fires of Invention, such as Wilderness Reclamation. This is so flexible. And let's not forget the 3rd chapter. Return a creature or planeswalker from the graveyard to the battlefield. What would be good to return? This fucking guy. This fucking guy, man. This fucking guy. Like, I've talked a lot about the 3-mana things, but the secret little sauce that's made this very good in Game 1s is the Birth of Meletis. Chapter 1 gets us a plane. Chapter 2 creates an 0/4 blocker. Chapter 3 gains 2 life. This is the perfect versatile card for fixing our mana issues against control decks and also giving us blockers against aggro. It's great. We have Omen of the Sea, which does a lot of scrying. You'll notice there's actually not terribly much card draw Teferi draws 1. Narset can find stuff. Dream Trawler can draw. This is our way to use the double scry. We scry 2 when it enters. We can scry 2 when it sacks. Glass Casket is just sort of the other one, right? This has been the archetypical construction that we've been seeing perform very well leading into Worlds, but Paulo Vitor Damaderosa's blue-white control list looks quite a bit different. Quite a bit different. First of all, there's only 2 creatures in the deck. 1 Archon of Sun's Grace, 1 Dream Trawler. That's it. Done. This is it. And you heard me talk a lot about the Choker Twins. We only have 2 Narsets, and we have 4 Teferis. The way that this list works in the main board is very denial heavy. Absorbs to counter, we still have 4 of those, but we also have 3 Dovin's Veto main board. We have 2 Mystic Disputes main board. So many counters in the main board. There's also a lot of draw. Like a lot of draw with the 4 Omen of the Seas instead of 3, but then also 3 Thirst for Meanings. This already, the fact that we're very counter heavy and we're using Thirst for Meaning, there's some really interesting things going on here. You know what Birth of Meletis feels like when you draw it late? It feels bad. It often feels like we don't really need it. Thirst for Meaning is a way to allow us to draw 3 and to discard one of those Birth of Meletis, and it feels good. Excuse me one sec. Jesus. There we go. So, if we also look at a lot of these cards, instant speed, instant speed, instant speed, instant speed, instant speed, and then we're using the Teferi to make things cast on instant speed, it actually makes it very, very difficult for our opponents to properly assess what it is we're doing, because we're casting everything essentially at instant speed. Very, very reliable. Other things in this list that are very cute, there's just a pair of Banishing Lights. This is a little bit more flexible than Glass Casket, which is very clearly an anti-aggro thing. This can get Planeswalkers. This can also get those big enchantments. This can also get creatures like NX. But the big thing to note is that this deck runs fewer of the things. It runs 1 Dream Trawler instead of 4, 3 Elspeths instead of 4, 3 Shatter the Skies instead of 4, 1 Archon of Sun's Grace, again, instead of 4 Dream Trawlers. Only 2 Narsets. And in this way, this deck gets way more draw and deny to help get the things that are needed. Paulo Vitor Damaderosa's use of Omen of the Sea was just spellbinding. Absolutely spellbinding at this event. I've never seen such a bland-ass looking card be played with such skill. In the sideboard, the sideboarding plan is a really interesting one. If we're up against aggro decks like red, we have what I will describe as more severe answers. We have 4 Aether Gusts, very good against mono red. 2 Cerulean Drakes, very good against mono red. We have... I actually never saw Commence the Endgame get run. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Glass Casket, Aether Gust, Cerulean Drake. These are cards to bring in against the aggro decks to just really, really shut down all the creature-y things. And we have some pretty obvious cuts, too. 3 Dovin's Veto against creature-heavy red decks. Get the fuck out of here. 2 Mystic Disputes that only work really well against blue cards. Get the fuck out of here. We have 5 slots freed up right away. Narset also kind of stinks against red. And there you go. There's your 7 slots. Ba-boom. Perhaps the most compelling thing about this list from PVDDR is that against Jeskai Fires, PVDDR removed all the Dovin's Vetoes, all the Mystic Disputes, and all the Absorbs. Got rid of every single counterspell in the deck, and instead put in much more reactive, or no, sorry, kept in the Mystical Disputes, got rid of the 4 Absorbs and the 3 Dovin's Vetoes in order to favor much more aggressive cards like Archon of Sun's Grace, Narset for denying draws, things like this, Aether Gusts for getting some of these creatures on top, getting rid of the Aether Gust you can think of as a better Dovin's Veto against Jeskai Fires. It gets rid of both the Fires of Invention as well as some of the big creatures like the Cavalier of Fires. I mean, it's just very, very slick. In particular, post-sideboard, and this is the fucking 3,000 IQ move, many Jeskai Fires lists were bringing in Robber of the Rich or Legion War Boss, so why try to go with the 3-mana Absorb, which can struggle to hit those effectively? Let's just get in a bunch of Aether Gusts, which can always get them, whether we're tapped out or not. They play the Legion War Boss. Yeah, it sucks that there's a 1/1, but boom, I'm going to Aether Gust at the start of the next turn. With all that very sophisticated explanationing, it's time for your friend Sean to shit the bed with this deck. I am not going to play this nearly as well as our friend PVDDR. That's the spirit, says Terminus. Lothias, hey, Lothias, happy 6-year anniversary. Ah, farts. This deck runs 3 Castle Ardenvales. 3 Castle Ardenvales. We were seeing many of the other control lists run 3 Castle Vantresses instead of Castle Ardenvale. And in other words, even though there are only 2 creatures, there are still multiple threats. Because we actually have like 5 threatening game enders. But if you think about it, there is a real... This is subtle, but you will really feel it once you start getting deep, deep, deep into the magics. Once you're getting deep, deep, deep in there, you will really feel how substantively different playing with all instant speed spells are versus playing with half sorcery speed, planeswalkers, enchantments, things like this. Half those, as well as half instant speed spells. And so, Castle Ardenvale, in particular, you can think of as an instant speed effect that sort of goes along well with that. Now here's the question. We didn't see anything cast at instant speed. This to me says there's a Bone Crusher Giant. Or there's some 3-mana things, but I'm going to wait because worst case scenario, there is no Bone Crusher, and my opponent just whiffed on the land, in which case I would be pretty pleased to have an Axe show up. Alright, I'm still waiting to see what's up. And I figured that if I really want to look like the world champion, I'm just going to take a long-ass time on each of these turns. Alright, we're just going to do something thirsty. I'm not entirely sure what Life X40 is doing. I mean, I think we just discard the Birth of Meletis. And then it's time to do some Sky Shattering. Our read right now, our opponent has not cast any of the 1-mana instant speed things, such as scoot me in, such as the little red bastard, the Rimrock Knight. We don't see any of that. We also don't see Light Up the Stage. We also don't see Bone Crusher Giant. We also didn't see a 3-mana creature such as Anax. So we are left to believe that Life X40 has Torbran in the hand. Alright, we have a relatively simple turn, we're just going to be Banishing Lighting. I'm going to go ahead and shock this in. So that way I can either Omen of the Sea or Dovin's Veto. So it should be a Torbrand right now. Yeah. That's very much so what we would be expecting, given the lack of plays on the first few turns. Mystic Dispute we don't want. Elspeth Conquers Death I think we don't want. So we're just going to go ahead and... Okay, well, we're going to have to do this. And I'm not really feeling particularly good about this situation. I would estimate that there is a second Torbrand in there. Maybe we actually should have kept the Elspeth Conquers Death. All the advantages in this deck are very slight. Also, Shaz, it was great to see you, man. Our opponent is completely owned. This is great news. We can play this, and then we still have the Absorb open. Shaz literally waited like an hour for me to get done. Because, you know, after the show ends, then we have to change out of our clothes, pack up all our stuff, start tearing down. There's the usual sort of, hey, guys, great show, great event, blah, blah, blah. This is a simple situation to use a Dovin's Veto. We don't have a lot of Dovin's Veto targets, so we may as well. I think I'm actually just going to use this now. Does Shaz live in Hawaii? Yeah, man, Shaz lives in Hawaii. Yeah, like, after waiting an hour, Shaz literally gets there. Oh, I tapped wrong. I sort of threw it out there. I'm sorry, I'm no Paulo Vitor Damaderosa. This is actually really important. Do not tap wrong. Shock on this. Alright, we didn't tap wrong. We're the best player alive. Easy. Easy peasy lemon fuck squeezy. Let's see if I can remember this sideboarding plan. We get out the Mystic Disputes. We get out the Dovin's Vetoes. I believe we also get out the Narsets, because I think those are not particularly helpful. We just put in the Cerulean Drakes, the Aether Gusts, the Glass Caskets. We also wanted both Archon of Sun's Grace, which I'm not entirely sure how we do the cuts for this. Let's just go through it. I think we do want all of these. We might not want this many Thirst for Meanings. Maybe we cut a Thirst for Meaning and we cut a Dream Trawler. Maybe this is right. Did you eat any of the malasadas and Cocoa Puffs I brought? Shaz, I ate an upsetting number of malasadas. Oh, like my stomach hurt the final day because I ate so many malasadas. I ate like 6 on the last day. Like, it was embarrassing to see me backstage, man. I mean, my God. This is an okay hand. It's not great. But I'm going to hang on to it because we have some wiggle room. I think I'd rather get an untapped Lando. So this is probably a light up the stage. I can't tell if our opponent is just getting completely screwed or what. So, okay, if we analyze this, this means that we didn't see a Rimrock Knight. We didn't see Robber of the Rich. We didn't see Runaway Steamkin. What this probably means is that there's a Bone Crusher Giant, because I don't think those get boarded out. Sure. We hope that this gets played, or Anax gets played, or some sort of 3-mana creature. Still no risk of Embercleave. We also have 1 billion health. Alright, great. So we're going to play our... I think we should play our tap source here. Boop. Cerulean Drake is very good. So we are winning the video game right now. I will probably just smash the Archon of Sun's Grace. An Archon of Sun's Grace is particularly good against mono red because there's just not a lot of ways to deal 4 damage outside of, like, Lava Coils. If our red player is boarding in Lava Coils to deal with this card, fuck yeah. No Nyx lands. I actually prefer lands, Ezekiel. I like that these look like locations. Temple of Enlightenment is my favorite art in all of Theros Beyond Death. Like, by far. I just think it's beautiful. So we saw Shock, which is an odd keep post-sideboarding. And we're just going to smash our Archon of Sun's Grace. Like, I just want to really note the weird sideboarding technique of PVDDR. Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa plays... I'm not going to block because Infuriate owns us. Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa has 3 and 4 and 2 has 9 main board counters, and post sideboarding, Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa's deck becomes a much more counter-free, much more tap out and play proactive deck. I mean, it's just incredible. It's just incredible. We're under no risks whatsoever. I'm going to pass through because this could be a Embercleave, which I'll comfortably counter. You know, I'm just going to get both of these. We're just going to keep swinging in. Can you Omen there to block with a lifelink? I can, ETB Angry, but I don't necessarily think I even want to do that. Okay, so here is something that PVDDR did a lot, which is just wait for a moment and play cards like this first, this Thirst for Meaning first. Or think for a really long time and then play the Omen of the Sea. Like, taking a really long time when there's these multiple decisions. I think what I am going to do is just absorb and then Omen of the Sea, kind of like a very straightforward play. Meyer the Great says, why no Drake, Sean? My name is spelled S-E-A-N. The second one, is there a better play I'm not seeing? Yeah, I think that's a very, actually, reasonably worded question, even though I tend to be a little stickler about, don't say why not to me! The answer is, the Cerulean Drake is an amazing shut down what you're doing card, but we were absolutely owning. Therefore, what I want to do is leverage the way in which I'm owning. Just continue to spiral out of control with the Archon of Sun's Grace. How would I do that? Cast the Omen of the Sea. The 2/2 Pegasus lifelinker I get is far better than the Cerulean Drake, because the Cerulean Drake just blocks and stalls. The Pegasus lifelinker gains us life and hurts them. Way better. So that's 2 mana there, and then we leave up 3 mana for Absorb. So This hand is actually extremely powerful because we have a number of options here. Birth of Meletis into Birth of Meletis. More likely Birth of Meletis into Thirst for Meaning. Interesting fact about this deck that was very difficult for me to see. When I first saw Paulo Vitor Domodos's list, I was laughing with Kibler. I was like, man, somebody was fucking expecting some no mono red to be at the tournament. Her. It looked like a very anti-control deck. But some of the things that also... yeah, but as we saw, that it's very effective there. In the mirror matchup, some of the tools that we're going to be using is we have way more card draw in game 1. Because we have Thirst for Meanings. Dunbar says, I noticed protection seemed a bit bugged. Sometimes an MTGA allowing damage through to kill creatures it shouldn't. That was correct. MTGA processes protection correctly, Dunbar. It is the most misunderstood effect in the entire game. I think we put this at the bottom and we get this blue source. I'll note that this right now is why this deck is so good against control. Thirst for Meaning is 3 mana, Absorb is 3 mana. If 7-3F KWDQ ZJT, if she has nothing, and I will address her by her full name every time. Yeah, so there are... so Dunbar, the way that protection works, by the way, the way that protection works is protection says you prevent any damage from this particular color. Prevent any damage from this particular color. And then there are other cards that say damage can't be prevented. And so, for instance, if you have a thing that, like a Cerulean Drake, which has protection from red. What do I want to discard here? Was just regular combat damage? Yeah, correct. There are times at which things... Well, actually, if you can give me a super specific example, Dunbar, I can actually point to it. I think we're going to discard... these plains. I think in this matchup we want our islands a little more. I actually heard one of the Magic the Gathering designery folk joke a little bit about protection as being like, oh, it's everyone's favorite mechanic after banding. How does protection interact with trample? The trampler assigns, like, say, 2 damage to the creature and then assigns 3 damage to the player, because that's how trample works. And then the 2 damage that was assigned gets prevented. So trampling is about a distribution of damage assignment in the damage phase, at which point the other damage is prevented. By the way, other hot tip from PVDDR, don't crack this unless you have a reason. So we waited to play our Teferi until this turn because there's enough mana for a single counterspell. Oh, that fucking blows. So, you know, we allow this to go through. But we kept the other Teferi in case there was a Dovin's Veto. Dunbar says, I think the first one I saw was I attacked with red-green Sunder Shaman, and it killed my opponent's Serpent, which has protection from multicolor. Let's look at Sunder Shaman. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and crack this. Probably for blue again, actually. If it's another Dovin's Veto, then that does completely suck. Okay. which one do we want to use here? I think that we're going to use the Dovins, because my opponent can't deny this. I think I'm going to use the Absorb. I think in these control matchups, I want to have this cheap flit removal, like a 2 mana.
Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Because I didn't pop the Omen of the Sea on that last turn, I can do this. And I think leaving it at 1 toughness is more ideal than +1ing it here.
Right on schedule.
Perfect.
That's more like it.
Coil Serpent. So the obvious thing to do here is to Banishing Light. This lets us get rid of the Teferi and still leave up enough mana for a counterspell. Or at end of turn, Omen of the Sea. That's fine. So far, so good. Feels good to be playing a World Championship deck and winning. Yeah, Ilana says, miss the Birth of Meletis, get land, play land, leave up to Veto line, I think. Nope, didn't miss that. We just don't even want to play this card. We really, really want to be incredibly conservative with playing of this card. I think that we don't care about this Thirst for Meaning because it's not a significant threat. Didn't miss it, Ilana. We almost never want to be bonking down a Birth of Meletis unless we have a very good reason to. Yeah, I mean, if it's a Sunder Shaman blowing up a Stone Coil Serpent, that would surprise me because Sunder Shaman's effect. Thing of beauty. You love to see it. Actually, do I want to do this now? Is this like a good deck thinner here? Definitely do this first.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Boop. Alright, and Field of Ruin, sick. So, yeah, like, I actually believe that Sunder Shaman interacting with Stone Coil Serpent. Do I want this Banishing Light? Probably not. I have everything I need. Do I play this? I guess it's actually fine to do right now. Yeah, that shouldn't happen, and I actually am very surprised if it did happen. Like, super surprised. I actually almost want to say that that's not how the thing died.
Trust me, I have a plan.
There are so many mysteries to uncover, with thoughtfulness before action.
It's a great one to get. We don't have Castle Ardenvale, which does fucking suck, but, you know, it's all good. We can always Shatter the Sky at instant speed. Stone Coil died to damage, not the trigger. Oh, yeah. There are things that have protection from multicolor that can take damage during combat, and protection says prevent that damage. But if another card says damage can't be prevented, then it essentially completely negates that effect. So Questing Beast is the most obvious example. Thanks for filling me in on the details what happened conversationally, H2Ros. So I think again, I don't crack this because I have no reason to. I am not sure how to play this next. This is the situations where PVDDR really kicked ass. Because like I don't know what to do here. I think I have to do this.
Hone your prowess.
There's our trawlery friend. I think it might be correct just to continue to dig. I'm going to plus this because I probably have to Shatter the Sky at some point. Yeah, I think I'm going to Thirst for Meaning and discard the Birth of Meletis.
Don't worry, I got this.
Try to see if I can get a Castle Ardenvale or a land. Okay. I think like these. I mean, the fact that I have the Teferi down means that Z3FKWDQ ZJT ZJL is screwed. %, fine. Teferi will go to 4.
Time for plan B.
So I'm going to continue to do some Thirsty Meanings stuff. I'm doing this because I just do not want this to get cast at all. So there's 2 Teferis in the bin now for the enemy. Oh, there's the other one. Yeah. Do this in time.
I'll protect you.
Do this whenever. Welcome to the longest game 1 of all time. Still don't think I need to Shatter the Sky. Still don't need to.
Want me to phase you out of
PVDDR was so good about just doing nothing, man. Like, not doing a damn thing, dude. Just chilling. Yeah, why not? I'm free, baby. Oh, we did it. We got the win condition. Okay, we're going to decline this. We do want that Elspeth conquers death. Oh, you love to see it.
This might be a bad idea. No! Yep, just kill it. I don't give a shit. It's not my win condition.
Probably should have tapped the castle when I cast the Archon of Sun's Grace. It's a little micro-optimization I've missed on. But now we have most of what we need to be able to win this game. So this is the third Teferi that we're going to kill. Our opponent cannot respond to this counter because we have a Teferi, and this card is unbelievably stupid. Hey, Leon91 says, Dane, I'm here to drop my Twitch Prime. I'm not really into Magic, but I like watching your stream. Although I don't understand like 50% of what's going on. It's all good, man. We're thrilled to have you. Pickup says, what MTG formats do you know and have already played? I'm actually pretty limited, honestly. Ooh, shit, I should have popped this.
I've got it.
I actually have to do this to get another counter, because there's another Elspeth Conquers Death in hand. That kind of fucks me. That's a good one. Should have scryed earlier. That's messed up. I have not played Modern. I have not played Pioneer. I have not played Legacy. I have not played really anything. Ugh. Bring it on. Dude, this wall has been so good.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
Classic Gur says, Dana, what do you think about the fact that 3/4 of the decks at Worlds were control decks? Is that true? We had 4 mono reds, which were aggro. We had 4 Jeskai Fires, which were are more tempo decks than control decks. We had some Team of Reclamation decks, which are probably... I think you'd probably count those as control, I think.
Here we go.
Yeah, Fire's function's more like tempo mid-range. Teamer is more combo. And then Jund... I might call Jund also a mid-range deck. So there's only those 3 out of 16 that were true control. And you may not have meant that. Like, if you could dig in a little more to what you mean, I'd be happy to investigate. Because I would say that there were 3 control decks is how I would define it. This looks a little weird, but I'm actually going to shatter and kill my Archon of Sun's Grace. Because I want it in the bin, and I want to keep this Teferi alive. God, that's a sick draw.
I've got time.
How do you feel about 3 out of 16 decks being control? I feel good. You know, a lot of opinions that folks have about Zamita. My God, this is still game 1. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Goodness. I think a lot of people were just really happy with the top 16 deck list. Like, super happy. It had the classic aggro and control in there. Had some interesting Teamer Jeskai things. And even had a one of in the Jund Sack. That almost made it to top 8. All good. Do I need to draw a card here? New chair. Oh, I forgot I have my old chair here, yeah. Oh, does the tapping not... Does it not go through? What? Because I thought this was return a thing up there, period, draw a card, period. I thought that even if the target fizzled, it still did the secondary effect. I guess that's wrong. I think I needed to more aggressively dig with my things. I think I needed to Teferi, return my Omen, do that again, and do that again, and do that again, and do that again. This is a fine play as any. There's got to be some counters in here somewhere. That's fine. Fine moment as any. Tapping the Trawler is not a cost for giving it hexproof, right? You're correct, Pablo. It is an effect, not a cost. Well, our opponent valiantly starts swinging on in. We could be in trouble. And I think this is where the sensation of like, yeah, I really need to dig a lot more aggressively is starting to really come to forefront. Well, I mean, I think this is about the only play I got. There's probably an Absorber of Dovin's Veto in the hand. I mean, we cast all of ours at the start.
Stand by and watch. No, I am not making this up as I go.
That's very helpful. That's actually very, 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 very helpful. I have no idea who has an edge in this. I think probably she does. I think probably plausibly. Allegedly, hedgedly. We do have a pair of Castle Ardenvales, which is really nice. Goodbye, my friends. Any reason not to bounce the Dream Trawler? No, did I not? Did I not actually click on it? If I click on it and they make it hexproof, I don't draw the card. But I think I mentally farted anyway and was like, I totally clicked on it. Lots of unintentional whiffy diffies that occur when you're watching your good friend Day 9 TV. So I mean, we're getting a lot of little 1-1-ies, and I think we just have to keep on swinging in. So this looks like it's slowly slipping away from us. Aloha, everyone. This is Vase6. What is up, Vase6? Vase6 getting the kicks. Fires and Teamer are very control-ish, in my opinion. Teamer feels a little more on the control spectrum. Jeskai Fires is pretty fucking all about turn 6. I think it's arguable that Teamer has a very control-y structure and then tries to blow up, but definitely Fires is I think you'd be hard-pressed to claim that most Fires lists are control. Because even the counters they run are like Mystic Disputes, these cute little stab moves. And that's certainly a denial component, and denial is certainly... Denial is certainly a traditional element of control, but... I think we let that resolve. Not having Vantress hurts. I think that's probably the analysis that I shouldn't do. I think that what I really should say is, how do I? Because I was in an advantageous position, and I've sort of flipped to a not advantageous position. Would be okay. This is to counter that. Okay, let's just try to pick it off. If there's a Dovin's Veto, then that stinks. But if there is an Absorb, it's also fine. Do I wait? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can still double next turn. It's still a difficult turn. I think it's a very challenging turn. Yeah, you know, I'm going to concede because I do think that she has an advantage, but more importantly, I really need to use the bathroom. I think our chance of winning was probably like less than 5%, probably. I'll be right back, and I'm going to side. We wash the hands, but we don't dry the hands. Control match-ups. What do we want to bring in? We take out the Dream Trawler. We bring in the Sun. Is that right? What? Oh, shit. I'm confusing some of these. So we definitely bring in Birth of Meletis come out. The Narset comes in. How is this one supposed to work? We take out these. Bring in all the disputes, and I think we bring in both the Commence the End games. Maybe it truly is just like this, huh? Maybe it truly is just like this. Shatter for Dream Trawlers, though. We want to counter them. We want to counter them. That's bad. It's fine. I really got to look at PVDDR's sideboarding, because I mean this deck is, I find, quite difficult to sideboard. I'm just popping this now because I'm a mediocre player who doesn't do good decisions. So we don't do this now because we want to ensure that we have the capability of countering. Probably, certainly not. Let's see. Well, that screams I have an Absorb. Let's Omen of the Sea and try to find something good. See you later, guys. Let's get some Landos. Well, that's not good. There, girl. Ugh! Dovin's Veto hurts. Absorb is fine. And we estimate that she has an Absorb because she shocked this in. Could also be a Dovin's Veto, and the wish to get the 3rd mana is for this sack, but most of the time it's this. And we have a very, very clear play, which is to return our Omen to the sea. Wow. I mean, that feels really good.
You show remorse. I'll show you. Here we go.
Look at us, we match. Alright. What the hell do I do here? I think I just... Or do I want to do this first? Aww. Less than 12 minutes remaining my match timer? How many are for the opponent? Oh, I'm low as hell. Well, this screams I do not have a Lando. I actually do want that additional land. Oh my god, there's... Well, whatever, man. Whatever. I whiff on this Teferi all the time. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to miss on that. I don't know how many times I'm going to miss on that, but I constantly miss on both my and my opponents. Well, that's good at least. I'm not going to crack this. I just... Farts. Jet lag, yes, it's jet lag. It's jet lag. Dude, I fell asleep at like 9:30 last night, which is 7:30 Hawaii time. I got up at 4:30 a.m. almost every single day of the events. I went 4:30, 4:45, 5.
I know India keep an open mind.
That's a good one. What was call time? Call time was 7 a.m. Got up and ran. Ran into Mornan. Alright, well that's good. I gets that shit out of the way. Alright, play is clear.
Meditate and prepare.
I'm known for my excellent timing. I've got
I think this timing is okay. Do you think Jack Lag had a significant effect on the tournament? It'll always have some effect, but that's the hard part, you know. But yeah, dude, I was getting up so early and running beforehand. It's the first event where I've run all 3 days. And dude, this HUD readout on this elliptical was so funny. Like, first of all, it just did not track data correctly, period. It just didn't track the data properly. Like, after 32 minutes, it says, congratulations, you've run 1 mile. I was like, okay. Like, literally, as I'm streaming right now, I'm running faster than 1 mile. Why on earth would our opponent attack that? Are you going to try to bounce this? What?
Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, like, what is going on here, man?
Let's slow this down.
Man. Oh, fuck. I should have cast Omen of the Sea. Man, I am fucking really basic shit up, man. It's not a big deal. We actually have the big scary win condition right there, so we're in grand shape. Oh, my opponent didn't minus? Man, I am fucking a lot of basic stuff up. But anyways, this HUD was so whack, man. It was so funny. Do I thirst for meaning right now? I think I'll just Omen of the Sea, just do some basics. I really do need a lot more land out, man. The endgame is like so good in this matchup. Jesus. So we currently have the advantage. We're in an uncomfortable spot because Teferi's down, but it's actually okay.
Well, that didn't pan out.
But dude, this HUD had shit. Like it said how many watts I was generating as I was running. So I'd like get to work and be like, hey guys, ran it over 100 watts. It had some statistic called moves. And so I did 805 moves. And my speed was 110 speed per minute. That's a pretty useful one. Hi, Sheriff. God, I'm so happy to see my little baby girls.
I've got it.
No big deal. Narset still shuts it down. You can replay it and exile the Narset. Don't even give a shit. Fairy dies next turn. Our counters get turned on. We can replay a Narset. We probably won't, though. We'll probably just wait and maybe commence the endgame, because then Chapter 3 comes up. Okay.
This isn't a fight you can win. I'll protect you.
I mean, this makes my decision-making quite a bit easier. Alright, so I'm going to play this Narset, which denies card draws. I actually am going to get the Elspeth Conquers Death instead of the other one. And I'm going to double attack here, because now, if she tries to bounce this, this will enable my... Don't need the cards. This will enable me to cast my counterspiels. Oh, but this will cast one more. Oh, well. Fuck.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Alright, for a billion. Yeah, maybe I needed to be way more aggressive about keeping my Teferi alive. Oh!
Put thoughtfulness before action.
In we go. Yeah, maybe I just should be continuing to smash out these 1/1s, huh? I mean, as I'm playing this deck, I am really feeling just how good you have to be to navigate this situation. You wind up with sort of like the control explosion problem, where you have all these answers and all these effects and all these possibilities and all these things, and... gets you in trouble, man.
Own your prowess.
Well, that fucking unbelievably blows.
That's more like it.
Commence the endgame is pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing this.
No more games.
So I'll get that on top for next turn. Oh, thank God, no commence the endgame. Whew! I played this because I don't really want to discard anything, and I still get the scry effect even if Narset denies the draw effect. So. Yeah, man, there's the control explosion problem where you wind up with like so many choices. I mean, you can counter like anything of all of this stuff. Like, what's the correct one to counter? This is essentially guaranteed to die. We have 4 here, we have 4 here, so we can spend all of our mana doing that. I think she realizes that, like, if she plays Commence the Endgame, then, you know, my tokens still get around everything. The instant this Teferi is down, I think we're in dominating position. This is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's more than alright.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Okay. I love this little castle. I think we're doing it. Send 4 in here in case there's a blocker. Okay. This is actually still okay because we have Castle Ardenvales.
Oh, I've
Actually still okay because we have Castle Ardenvales. Not great for us, but still okay. Alright, discarding 2. It's the Fjord of Ruin. Let's get some blue mana, some blue. Boink. Oh, I have 5 minutes remaining on my clock. Oh shit, I actually have to start playing really fast. Alright, time to just not pay attention to chat at all. Okay, here we go. Get an island, play this. Actually, I do want one to go into here. A bang and a bonk.
Don't make another move.
See if we can get another Castle Ardenvale. Banishing Light's very good. Get this right now. We're not going to play it. It's fine. Don't really care. %100% fine. 100,000% fine.
Are bound by life. Meditate and prepare.
Absorb is shit. That is a bad one. That is a bad one. I think we might be dead.
I got this.
Yep. Great. Great, great, great. Take the damage. Bang, bang, bang. Teferi is a very good card.
Enough.
Yeah, I think that the general mistake I've made in this game is I did not extremely value Teferi early on enough.
I have just a trick for this.
I think that is the mistake.
I've got it.
I mean, look at how much she values this.
Here goes nothing.
I mean, I essentially have to hope for an Elspeth Conquers Death or something like this. Because we're dead in a couple of turns, assuming that I wish to continue to attack. But our hope is that that's it. And I think I do continue to make these. I think this is correct. I think this is right. What's better, huh? This is better. Doesn't matter if the Teferi's on top. This is simply what must be done.
I won't let you win.
Hello, little cat. Yeah, wow. Yeah, let me move this. I didn't mean to cover up your subwoofer. So Teferi's looking dead soon. And I think there's 3 in the bin. 1, 2... 1, 2 in the bin? Yeah.
With thoughtfulness before action.
Great, you got it. Teferi's out the ass, that's fine. Sure. I can't tell if she's hunting for something because she's in bad shape or whether she's in absolutely dominating shape, and there you go. Meow. What a good cat. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. These little kitties love to see Dad. Yeah, oh, it's Dad. Dispy. Yeah. It's interesting to feel that with the burst of Castle Ardenvales, this is what allows me to recover in this kind of position. Maybe just playing this, huh? Alright, so this is actually okay for us. Because we are actually going to kill the Teferi. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we're about to kill this Teferi. Teferi quite contrary. Die. God, look at this! Look at this horse, man. This is great news. Now, will we die to that Dream Trawler? Yeah, absolutely. We'll die to it. Hey, here, let me move this box. I know you're a big fan of the box. Oh my god, we did it.
Keep an open mind.
Oh shit, that's a phenomenal glory. That's bad. That's bad news, Bears. Yeah, there's a pretty substantial number of mistakes we made in this match. I have 2 minutes and 31 seconds, which means that even if I win this game, I'm probably still going to lose. And I really see where the errors in my gameplay are coming from. And I still think that my decision-making is correct. I still think that I'm very, very happy with the way that I have overall played out. I'm very, very happy with the way that I've overall played out, or excuse me, sideboarding. Very happy with the sideboarding. I think it's just the gameplay about trying to make sure that I'm setting myself up in maximum health for the 3 Feriage. It was super cool play with the Thirst for Meaning to be able to kill me. Would absorb keep you alive? Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. We have 2 minutes left on the clock, so even if I win, I'm going to lose in the next game. So we're just going to go ahead and die. In other words, we had lost twice. I think that we were probably going to lose that match, and then we were probably going to also lose the following game. I think because there's... Yeah, this deck is... nope. Yes, actually yes, because we're going to have 4 land. I really feel the power in those matches. Like, really superlatively. Wow, that is like super sick. And I need to be incredibly protective and valuing of Teferi in this. Oh, we're up against Gruul. Great. Alright, so the last Gallia buff Satyrs. This is 2 mana, so it can't exactly be Elspeth. I'm gonna block you. How do you wish to proceed, Isaac? You love to see it. It's me, Invincition. Alright, we're just gonna chill. Man. This is like one of those really difficult control decks. Because like the other Azorious Control list, you can just play stuff out like a hell of a lot more. Absolutely not in 1 billion years. Ooh, maybe we should have let that one resolve. Actually, nope, I just did an error. I threw it out. What I should have done is I should have Thirst for Meaning at end of turn. Because Klothys has no effect on this turn. And then I could have plausibly Elspeth conquered death. What deck is this? This is Paulo Vitor Damaderosa's World Championship deck from this weekend. I think I actually do discard that, yeah. Which, counterintuitive as that might look, we have a Shatter. And we have this Dovin's Veto up. And we don't have anything useful in the graveyard. I think the huge mistake I made was just smashing the Absorb out when I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I should do. I think it's very not what I should have done. Alright, great. Probably the right move here.
Let's slow this down. No, I am not making this up as I go.
What's going to be, Isaac? Yeah, actually, I need to slow down a little bit with this one. Because I think there's a lot of very obvious decisions one could make. And way, way too many better subtle decisions. Okay, well, I'll just do this. Alright, the game didn't detect my stop. That's fine. I think I'm actually submitting 0 here, which I saw Paulo just, like, never do. Domri we can get rid of. And I think that this is an acceptable ditch as well. It appears that Isaac is stuck on single green, so we'll just burn the rest of our mana. I think that 1/1s are not going to be the way to win this one. Elspeth Conquers Death I actually think is a valuable enough card because my Teferi can help me stay alive. If I count this right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I didn't count it right. Okay, cool, no problem.
That's more like it.
There it is. Now there's probably going to be a double greeny guy. Yeah. And then let's... I'll just look for some goods here. None of those are good. Alright, chompy dump. It feels pretty likely that there is a second questing beast in the hand.
Mind and thought meditate and prepare.
So I'm going to get this Elspeth Conquers Death again. Yeah. 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 You are such a little sweetheart, you know that? Hi. Hey, don't bite me.
I must stay
Hey, what's
focused.
going on? Don't bite me. Hey. Yeah, it's okay. My cat's pissed off. Maybe because I came home we didn't play string immediately, is that it? Hi, Disper. This cat's giving me the evil eye. There we go. Hi. I just want you to watch this cat stare at me. Don't need that. Let's get one of these. Loyalty.
Sorry I'm late.
Go ahead and send this guy back home.
Let's try this.
We can Elspeth to our heart's content. Let's do this first, because if we hit the Archon of Sun's Grace, that'd be pretty good. Don't need any more Castle Ardenvales. I can also hold the stop and scry again, but I think... I know that I'm going to be casting this one anyways. No attacks. Our opponent can rush this in. Dude, I went to go pet this cat, and this cat chewed on my hand. Look here. Why don't you get a smell? Do you want any pets? No. Okay. Yeah, do you want to chew on me? You're pretty mad, huh? I can tell she's gonna bite. Hey! Hey! Tst. Get down. Alright. I had to resolve that conflict. Cat dad to the rescue. Alright, let's get that microphone out of the shot again. She's just... No. Oh, dude, I missed the stop. I'm bad. Alright, let's scry it and see what's up. Because we might actually sincerely change our plan. Actually, that's fine. That is A-okay, okay, okay.
This might be a bad idea. I'm known for my excellent timing.
So now the Elspeth Conquers Death has something that it can do stuff with in the bin. Oh my god, this deck has a lot of moves. Almost as many moves as I did on the elliptical in the morning. When I was running at 120 watts. One thing I do have to get back upon is my 30-day project. Got to get back into that code in action, baby. Oh, hey, Nadoru, good to see you, man. Yeah, no, please. I insist. Hit it with the bing bongs, you know? Stop that. Give it to Teferi guy, you know? I guess.
I know my responsibility.
I guess.
Here we go.
I bet this Phoenix Ash is gonna get smashed down onto the board. I think it's plausible that the correct decision was not to do this. It still feels pretty good. No, let's just do the simple play, right? Let's return the thing. So that way it cannot be targeted at instant speed, and then we will win with this puppy. We don't play this because we need something to discard for hexproof. I still have to figure out something I'm going to play on Friday. Still got to figure out that Friday plan. So it's either Embercleave or the Phoenix. Wolsen? How do you say that game's damn name? Is it Wolsen? Wolchen? Like what is that? What is that? Yeah, I have my good chair, my Herman Miller in the living room. Swolchen. Alright. Wolsen? Oh, yeah. Oh, you'll love to see it. Alright, let's get that in that order. Wolken? Swolken? I don't even know how to pronounce it, but that is something that I've had my little bitty eye upon. I feel like I want to take this moment to give a nod of appreciation to this deck specifically, because if we like look at what we're dealing with, thus far this deck has really not done almost anything proactive, but like I've been sitting at close to 20 health the entire game. card is so busted good. My god, Teferi's the best.
Time for plan B, as soon as I think of one.
Slick. Super slick. Just gonna hang on to the entire pile of cards. Whatever you want to do, Isaac. So this game is pretty over, but let's do some calm scrying. And I want that. Hi, sweetie pie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if I want to do this properly, I should do this here. Activate. Tapping those 3. Beautiful. Cryptic Tugboat with the 5 giftos. Thank you, my tuggy boatful friend. I actually feel way too good. Had lethal. How do we have lethal, Sirior? How did we have lethal? Where was the lethal? I see my opponent at 2. Oh, I've put Omen on the sea on top. Nice. Nice. Also found lethal. Feels good. Bam. Alright, so that was like a long-ass game 1. God, that was a long-ass game 1. Alright, what do we not want? No! No! And probably also no! Yes! 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 Seems good. Seems good. These games take a long time. Yeah, Paulo Vitor Damarosa won the tournament and won from the winner's bracket. Just went like win, 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 win all the way in. And like, the game still went pretty long. Must have been so fun, cast. Dude, it was really fun. I really liked that group of people. Like Maria and Brian and Alien Cedric and Marshall and Paul. And of course, my doppelganger, Becca Scott. So when do you actually board in the second trawler? There is no second trawler in the sideboard. Although it may have looked like that because I boarded out really, really quickly. Unless I'm an idiot. No, there's only one Dream Trawler on the entire list. Sorry, Games says every game went down to the wire. It was great watching in person. No way, were you there in person? What? This is a god hand. No, 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 no. Thorin Twin says, speaking of the World Championships, the one player who seemed to flood heavily tugged at my heartstrings. It really was not a flood. Calling it a flood it's a little bit of an optical illusion to call it a flood. Because those Jeskai Fires lists run a shitload of land.
We won't answer other guilds.
I think I actually have to do this.
Right on schedule. That's more like it.
Are talking about Piotr flooding? Oh yeah, Piotr did. There was like one notable game where, in the draft phase, Piotr Gorgovsky drew like 14 of the 17 lands in a row. It was actually kind of hilarious. Okay. Send that back. Try to get the Lando Calrissians up. Oh, that is the right one to bin. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that it's very, like, I think one of the biggest mistakes a player can make when they're playing this game is you will hit times when you flood out. So it seems. You go, oh my god, why do I keep drawing land? Oh, you know, because you don't have any cards in hand. And you look at what the data's showing you, and I'm flooding out. I'm flooding out, man. Gosh. However... However, when you actually wind up counting how many lands you wound up with, when you actually wind up counting out how many lands you wound up with, you'll find that you're actually pretty close to expectation.
They can only punish you if they catch you.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Trust me, I have a plan.
I think that's one of those like hallmarks of good player versus great player, man.
Oh, I wish you could see your face when I'm beating you.
See you later, alligator. Yeah, Carvalho kept like an extremely risky mulligan. Like, just unbelievably extremely risky mulligan. By the way, I have to eat this guy because this dude can make my opponent fight my stuff.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
DS Warden says, by the way, Sean, your winner's interview with Paulo Vitor Damadoros was outstanding. One of the best I've seen. Oh my god, that dude is such an easy interview. He's so good. Love that you moved right from the exciting win into handing him the trophy, got the focus right on him with no awkward transition, and then just a few seconds had him answering interesting, complex questions beyond how are you feeling, face 7 ways. It's really artfully handled. Well, I have been preparing for that interview for the entire match. For the whole freaking match.
Nothing.
I think I am going to do this Thirst for Meaning right now because I really do want to get something down. Hell do I do here? And then I guess I do nothing. Just leave up the Absorb. Yeah, the interview structure was as follows. Give him a chance to give an immediate emotional reaction. You won! You did it! Holy shit! What are you feeling? Oh my god! I'm just... I like to touch on, like, there's basically before the tournament, in the tournament, and now you're looking forward. You know, like, break into these 3 categories. I want that.
Stand by and
hey, Despy girl.
Hero things before.
And a lot of it is like just trying to focus on questions in the emotion. Here's some great advice from Rich Hagan that was incorporated in here. Rich Hagan suggested, when asking someone about plays, the point of asking anyone about a play is to give them the opportunity to be okay, giving them the opportunity to sound smart. Get out of here. Protection from red. So much of the moments in there, I was trying to like, okay, in this particular turn on that moment, when this was going on, no, what the fuck? Alright, whatever. That's still the perfect draw. Well, I don't know the right time to do this. Oh yeah, because this is that goes on the stack. So I have to play it, then I have to sack it, then I have to scry it. I got it.
Don't worry, I got this.
You have to do that. You have to play it and then crack it and then do the investigation. But yeah, try to break it up into those categories. So, you know, it was like, oh my god, okay, so just take me back. Like, how long have you been playing this fucking game, right? We can go way earlier, and there's a lot of juicy shit there, you know? So, I guess I leave back all the stuff.
I've got it.
Alright. Actually, I'm gonna do like this. This seems pretty good, huh? Should get a trade going. Here comes the Embercleave, maybe. Seems good to me. Alright, and then let's just bring this on home. So far, so good.
Oh, I've done the hero thing.
Yeah, dude. Embercleave sorcery speed is terrible. Alright, we've played our third best of 3. Whoa! Easy. I can't believe we've been playing for 3.5 hours already. Or not 3.5 hours, 2.5 hours. This is a bad hand. Okay, this is a bad hand. Hey, we got it. Probably the expensive and restrictive ones. This can help us in a pickle. This can get extra value. Hans Hermann Hoppe. Alright, we see the black-white colors. Yeah, 12 Severin's self-counterplay was really sick. It was a super long game. It was Andre Strasky against 12 Severin. And 12 Severin is playing what I'll call a traditional Azorious Control. Andre Strasky is playing Paulo Vitor Damaduros' list exactly, down to the 75 cards. And Strasky had been swinging with a Dream Trawler again and again and again and again and again and again. And so was drawing a lot of cards. And so at the very end, Strasky was swinging in with a bunch of 1/1s, but didn't attack with the Dream Trawler because Strasky was out of cards. And the attack was for lethal. So what Toralf Severin did was Toralf cast a spell and then used his own Absorb to counter his own spell, allowing him to heal through the damage. And I was just like, oh, shit. Like, that was good. That was good. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Phoenix says, I have to say, Sean, I will never get used to seeing you in a suit. I love wearing suits. I also love just going, you know, chill mode t-shirts. Alright, Hans Hermann Hoppe has died. He was a good man. I'll probably draw 3 and bin the Banishing Light, because I don't know what I'm up against. Yeah, probably have to get this one out of there. Probably have to get this one out of there. Blue. I have no idea what Hans Hermann Hoppe is playing, but, you know, whatever. Was I wearing shorts or pants outside the desk? Yeah, I was wearing a full suit. Full suit. Second day, I just wore sneakers. No, not sneakers. Jeans. And not sneakers. I wore nice shoes with jeans. Because it didn't really matter. Although I have been eating a good amount recently, so when I would like slouch in the chair, all the buttons would peel open. And it would just be like, here's the belly button, here's a hairy tum, here's a hairy sternum. And so, like, when I'd sit up, makeup lady would actually put double-sided tape in between them to just tape the fat shut. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, Valero was so windy. Oh my god. It was actually really scary at the end of the last day where, oh, whatever. On the last day, there's a canvas on the top to prevent sunlight from coming in above and to prevent a little rain. And then there was a canvas to one side to prevent the sun from coming in, you know, just diffuse the light a little bit. And it was blowing so hard that the metal truss was starting to, like, lift up because it was catching it like a sail. I think I just wait. I think I just wait. Yeah, they had really expensive audio equipment that was filtering out like 95% of the wind. It was really, really good mics. I mean, just like incredibly, incredibly good mics. It's actually kind of in disbelief that the mics were so good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait a turn. And then we can Archon of Sun's Grace into Birth of Meletis or something like this. Whew. Boy, I am tired. I'm tired, man. It's my 9th work day in a row. And I do count travel days as work days, because you try flying on an airplane. You tried doing an event, getting up, going to the airport, and flying. Damn. Oh, I thought my opponent was going to attack and didn't attack. Whoopsie doopsie poopsie. Alright. I make you mistaken.
This isn't a fight you can win.
You know, whatever. Everything gets bounced. Everything gets bounced. It's fine. Birth of Meletis, let's get played. Here we go. Bam. Alright, we just literally we passed our turn. We made so many errors. We're done. It's over. Game's over. GG. I gotta switch to Seth Manfield's list, man. Danon's getting water, yeah. Yeah, my opponent didn't swing with Niv Mizzet, so I just kept hitting OK, and I passed right through the turn, and didn't do any of the shit at end of turn that I needed to. Oh, well, this is a relief. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yeah, this looks good enough.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, we can't lose. Bada boom. I think Hans Hermann Hoppe was in good shape and then disconnected. Let's play some mono red after this. We'll do one more match after this one because this list is actually incredibly fun. It's real challenging. Also, Hans Hermann Hoppe appears to have disconnected. Delaran says, Sean, how do the cats react to you getting home? Mad? Ambivalent? Oh, they're super happy to see me. They're really, really cheerful, sweet little kittens. They climbed up on me and were sniffing me and rubbing against me and wanting to snuggle. Oh, it's heaven. It's heaven. You ever played Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder? Yeah, you can find my participation on JP McDaniel's roleplay series. Looks okay. Not incredible, but pretty solid. This comes into play tapped. Yeah, right now, normally the cats are pretty hanging out with Sean Focus, but I think they're over. I think they're over on the heating pad. Alright, we see this is plausibly the Jeskai colors. I am going to hang on to that Mystic Dispute. Sean, have you ever considered joining the pre-release by LRR, which is Listen Ready Run, Live Ready Run? Luau Ready Run? I don't know what it is. Loading Ready Run, there we go. Long story short, I'm not in charge of when and how that happens.
You show remorse.
I'm going to plus here because this is the Jeskai Fires list, and keeping Teferi alive is incredibly, incredibly important. There are a number of ways for 2 damage to be done for this. Okay.
That's more like it.
This being one of them. The Bone Crusher Giant, so we want to plus a lot. This looks like it's going to be a Fires of Invention. Alright, it looks like we will be doing a bit of vetoing. Could just be another Bone Crusher right away. Okay. I think I want some action first. Alright, the play is clear.
Trust me, I have a plan.
I think I do this. I think I do not crack this Omen of the Sea. I think that that is maybe the most important thing I learned while watching Paulo Vitor Damarosa. Is to be really light on popping this. I used to pop this shit all the time, dude. All the dang time.
Nothing.
Okay, how would we do this? If we played a Dream Trawler and our opponent played a Fires of Invention next turn, what would we do? They would be able to play one speedy thing. So we need to leave this back if we want to play the Dream Trawler. I think that play is as good as any. So we don't attack with this, right? Can't Trawler without mana for Dispute. Well, I once again do have Teferi out, which I have forgotten like 50 times, so no counters possible. So if this gets destroyed, no big deal. We already have the Elspeth Conquers Death in the hand. Great. Narset comes down.
Focus, and I have just the trick for this.
Probably the Mystic Dispute now that we're really late. Probably that.
This might be a bad idea.
With thoughtfulness before action.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, I am just not sure I need this many Teferis. Say yes to the castle. I am winning. Unless it's something incredible. We'll go ahead and snack a land.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Alright, who's ready for the third Fires of Invention? I think my opponent's going to discard 2 and then forget about Narset, so yeah.
That's more like it.
All right. Let's get another big creature out. Let's get some substantial mana spent. Because this looks like it's the only blocker here. No draws from the Shatter the Sky because we have Narset out. Now here was the brilliancy. Cut all of these. Cut all of these. Cut this. And then put in the other 2 Archon of Sun's Grace, put in the 4 Aether Gusts, and put in the 2 Mystic Disputes. This was the move. I think also another Narset. Think like this. Out with all the counters. Out with all of them. Actually, I shouldn't have submitted that. I think I do need to leave the Birth of Meletis in there if I'm getting my Archon of Sun's Grace. What's the commence the endgame for? The Mirror, Remstorm the Mirror. Because everyone's going to be getting all their countery shit in there, and then you just blam, play a commence the endgame. Can't be countered. Get a creature. Hurt him. Hurt him in the face. Good against Simic Flash. Yeah, probably pretty okay against Simic Flash. Do. What do you know? We did it. We're the best. Yeah, it looks good. Gonna have to time our Birth of Meletis pretty sharply. Now, this could be one of 2 lists. The list that both French players of the tournament ran, both Gabriel Nassif and Raphael Levy, was one that was much lower to the ground. Instead of Cavalier of Gales, it ran Brazen Borrowers. It also ran 4 Robber of the Riches in the sideboard. Some of your more traditional, slightly slower, but still pretty fast Jeskai lists, but the slightly bigger, slightly slower ones run Legion War Bosses. I'm gonna go ahead and chill. Hey, thanks, Blackout HS. I felt like I did do a good job at the World Championship. I felt like I did do it. Ugh. Oh, wow, that sent Eric a message. Well, looks like we might be effed. Well, looks like... Oh, yeah! I'm so fucking sick! I'm so fucking sick! Feels good, man. Some hacking the mainframe typing. Yeah, dude, I type real fast, and it's only to impress my viewers. Most of it is misspelled. I don't use any punctuation. I don't capitalize. You were the best, Becca Scott. I felt pretty good about that. Becca did the interviews on day 1 and 2, and then on day 3, she did a whole bunch of recorded interviews with a lot of people around the crowd. So there needed to be someone else on the stage doing the intros and interviews. So that was what your pal Day 9 did. Woo! And so Marshall and Ailey, whenever they pass to me to do the post-match interviews, they're just like, all right, let's head over to the interviews with Becca Scott. And I'd be like, hello, everyone, I'm Becca Scott. I played the wrong land. That's actually not the biggest deal. I wanted to play a blue land so I could play Narset and keep the Aether Gust up, and then post-draw, just smash the Cavalier back onto the top. Did you get to the beach at all? Yeah. It's really nice. That's just an absolute beater. See, I really needed that Narset down last turn. This was quite a mistakey. Target with lesser beams. Lesser beams? What the fuck? My ability to speak became no. Tiger with laser beams. Good to see ya. Says, personally, I'm just impressed that you're already back on your regular stream schedule. Damn right! Can't do anything instant speed, so I'm just sending it back to the top. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm a beast when it comes to just daisy chaining work days, man. No! When are you going to stream the Game Boy Pokemon trading cards game? I don't know. I'm drunk. Here's money. Maybe it'll be my next extravaganza. Remember all those turns ago when I was saying how much I wanted to Narset down? It's really haunting me, man. Haunting and flaunting.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Alright. Things are about to get a little bit boring.
I've got time.
Twitch isn't the same without you. Well, Airtie, I'm happy to be back. Oh my god. I really need to go to the spa, though. I just want to breathe and chill and let the hot and cold water run over me. Can't wait for Warcraft Reforged Ladder. I can't wait for the Warcraft Reforged game. It's too bad that Blizzard never got around to remastering that game. It was a pretty good one, I gotta admit. Oh, Day 9! Wah! Day 9! He didn't do it! He didn't take the easiest cheap shot in the world! Seriously, man, that is like such a trivial shot to take, man. It feels so good. Alright. Day 9! Oh my god! Oops. Can I not count? Looks like I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shit, I thought I had a lot more than that. Does seem okay.
If you wish to hone your prowess.
This is definitely what I want. Is that voice supposed to be the chat? That's exactly how you talk, Commissar Mums. You might not know it, but I've been listening into you, my dude. D-Bomb 191 says, what decks made it to the top 8 of the World Championship? I wasn't able to tune in. Let's see. In the top 6, there were 3 Mono Reds, 2 Jeskai Fires, and a... 2 Mono Reds, 2 Jeskai Fires, and an Azorious Control. And then in addition to that, I believe there were 2 Teamer Reclamations. That's some bad bone crushing. Killerin says, you still doing physical therapy for the ribs, or is that done now? It's still ongoing, man. It's still up and up and on and on and on going. Alright, my life matters. We're going to go ahead and get the Archon of Sun's Grace into the bin, which will permit it to come back due to the Elspeth. I use the Narset to get a Narset, because I'm a smartset. So on the upward progress direction, it really is, except for that plane flight, where I don't fit in airplanes at all. I'm huge, man. I'm 6'4". And I often wind up in the very last section, so I always sit in middle seats. So I'm tucked in this way, and I have to lean forward just to be able to fit. So I'm leaning like this for like 5.5 hours. This does look a bit like a counter spell. Let's do this first and see what we get.
Open mind.
Boy, I'm sick. Boy, I'm sick! Bill Gunn says, how well do you think the tournament decks translate to ladder? There are some suspect problems with a lot of the World Championship decks when it comes to considering a ladder. Because, for instance, Strashki and Paul Vitor Damarosa both said... oh, so good. They both thought that it was going to be extremely control heavy, so they pre-built their main board to deal better with control matchups. Oh, the Leg Ion War Boss, huh? Yeah, the second chapter would have made their Mystic Dispute cost 3 instead of 1, or 5 instead of 3, depending upon what type of spell. Regardless, if we take the Mystic Dispute, we still get to pick off the Brazen Borrower, whose cost is not increased by Elspeth Conquer's death.
You could use some training.
Curious about what these are. Loyalty. So I'm going to discard this. Boy, I'm pretty sick, huh?
Meditate and prepare.
I think Elspeth Conquers Death looks perfect here. So I'm going to let this guy generate a 1/1 token before Aether Gusting it, and then it, at best, will go on top of the deck. Or excuse me, at worst, it will go on top of the deck. At best, it will get dunked to the bottom, and there will be a 1/1 that has to attack that we can block and gain a bunch of life. Did I give this thing loyalty? Fuck, I suck at this interface. God! I know what I want to do, I just can't do it! I don't even know how to describe. Oh my god. That is a loyal Archon of Sun's Grace, let me tell you. God, I didn't even notice. Then I looked at it and I was like, and we're going to heal for 4. And then I like was very not able to heal for 4. Oh, that's fine. Let's get that guy gone. Loyal Pegasus. Making a comeback, let me tell you that. At least it didn't matter. You'll never see an Archon of Sun's Grace as loyal as mine. I have the loyalist Archons of Sun's Grace. Oh! This guy out of here. Hooray.
Let's try this.
Let's do this shit. Yeah. So then on my turn, I'm going to go to Teferi, Banishing Light. Teferi, bounce an Elspeth. Absolutely fine. We're delight. You love to see it, you know. Come to me. No blocks necessary.
Sorry, I'm late. Trust me, I have a plan.
Archon of Sun's Grace is like one of my favorite cards in this set. God. Yes. Oh my god. Archon of Sun's Gas. It's a very gassy card, let me tell you. Do you know what I find so fascinating is when you're in different communities, the different language that they use. Because, like, okay, if you're playing Magic and you think that the deck is good, what do you call it? How do you describe it? What's the word that all the pros use? You know it. You know it. And you might be like, no, I don't know what it is. No one said it yet. The word is sweet. Oh yeah, this list, it's pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet list. It's pretty sweet.
Don't worry, I got this.
And you know what happens when something painful occurs? When something painful occurs, you know what people say? They say, gross. In Magic, this is what I've noticed. No one in StarCraft calls anything sweet. You know StarCraft players, what they call it solid. And if things are very strong, it's broken. And it, you know, in Magic, yeah, jank is jank. You don't hear jank in StarCraft at all. Not even a little bit. You know, if there is a good mathematical proof, you know the two words that math people always describe proofs as? It's a very nice looking proof. It's elegant. It's a very elegant proof. Yeah, Hamara says elegant, you know it. Or slick. I've heard slick a lot. Yeah, no, it's a pretty slick proof.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
No, I am not making this
Just
up as
the
I
trick
go.
for this.
This isn't a fight you can win.
How? 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 How is this possible? How does it even happen? How does it even happen? How? Wow. My opponent probably thinks I was talking shit. What my opponent doesn't know is that I'm